good one today. I'm so excited. This is a great one for any new agents, or if you're thinking about getting into the business, you want to listen to this one. I've got two of the top dogs in Las Vegas here who've seen it all. I'm Kristen Riffle with Simply Vegas. I've been in the business for about over 7 years. Please introduce yourselves.
Well, that was a heck of an introduction. I wouldn't quite say I'm top dog status yet, but my name is Katarina Harris. I am a local Las Vegas real estate agent with Exp Realty, and I've been in the business for 5 years.
Awesome. Hi guys, my name is Kaori from Las Vegas, Sotheby's. I'm your global real estate advisor, and I have been in the business going on my third year. I started in 2020, right before the pandemic hit.
Awesome. Nice. Love it. Yeah. So we wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about getting started in the business and our experience, what we went through, and how our ups and downs, and just kind of give you a real idea of what it's really like. Because I know when you see things on the internet, sometimes it looks very pretty, and it's not always, but it also is, and extremely rewarding. So we wanted to kind of give you a whole picture of everything that goes on. So I had a few questions that I drew up for this. And I wanted to ask you guys, do you think it's a good time to get into real estate as an agent or in the industry?
Okay, well, I can go first.
Yeah, you go first.
So it's always going to be a good time to get into real estate, whether you're an agent, whether you're buying or selling. But the main thing that you want to ask yourself is your motivation. Now, specifically touching on realtors who are wanting to get into the business, you have to get in for the right reasons. And especially now in a shifting market that we're experiencing right now, where homes are not, you can't just place a home on the market overpriced and barely market it and it sells. You actually have to have the marketing experience. You have to know how to educate your sellers on pricing and all that type of stuff. So really getting in for longevity, I would say, versus a quick buck would be my biggest tip for someone who's thinking about getting into real estate, because it's certainly way harder than I thought it was getting in. I mean, I'm still learning every day, and I still have so much more to learn, but I would say really just taking it seriously and thinking about your motivation as to why you're wanting to get in.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. And Katarina, share with us, you were pregnant when you started real estate 5 years ago. How was that like?
So yeah, when I did start real estate, I was 4 months pregnant.
Wow.
So I started real estate school, I believe, maybe a month after I found out that I was pregnant. Got through it real quick. Luckily, passed the test, got licensed, all of that. But yeah, I started out pregnant. I didn't even tell anyone at my brokerage at that time that I was pregnant, because I don't know, I was treating it like an employer almost. Oh no, if they know I'm pregnant, they're not gonna want to take me on. But you are an independent contractor. You are essentially running your own business. So it is okay if you have a family or wanting to build a family. But getting starting out pregnant, I would say, well, that was my motivation, right? Because I already had a young son at that time, but coming in pregnant again, I didn't have time to just beat around the bush and all of that. So I had to market myself as much as possible, get as much education as possible. But I worked up until the day I had him, and then maybe about 6 weeks afterwards, jumped right back in.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And you had your why out the gate. You knew what you were. You knew.
Yeah.
You knew what you were doing here.
Yeah. And it wasn't easy at all. I still remember toting around a newborn baby at the office when I would come in, even sometimes bringing him to my open houses. When I look back, I really feel like it was a hot mess. but I got through it, and
That's amazing.
Here I am today.
That's amazing.
And I think we all share motherhood here. So
Yes.
obviously that's our biggest why.
Yes.
And, you know, real estate for me, you know, it gives you the flexibility.
Yeah.
That's the biggest, you know, pro for me. So that you can schedule around your kids' schedule. Because again, my daughters are the ones revolving my schedule. They're in school and therefore we're here now while they're in school. So we could take this opportunity to share our experience with you. But so for me, I really got in a very interesting time.
You did.
So, so this was actually a career change for me. So I had moved to Las Vegas in 2005. I had my own event planning and luxury concierge business. I grew it for about 11, 12 years, sold it to a travel company, and then my 3-year contract was up with them January of 2020.
Oh, wow.
Now, you know,
the pressure was on.
Yeah, so you know, being an entrepreneur for such a long time and having a business that I was running from ground up, you know, I obviously had that entrepreneur spirit and that foundation, right?
That's beautiful.
So for me, you know, I loved being my own boss. It was, you know, a challenge for me to obviously let go of my baby, right? But it was the right thing to do to exit the business, you know, enjoy the corporate life. But at that same time, while I was exiting out and when my term was over, I knew in my heart that I wanted to go back into an industry where I could be my own boss and have that flexibility for my growing girls. So, you know, real estate was basically calling my name. And as soon as I got out of the contract in January 2020, I jumped into the real estate school in February of 2020. So this was before the shutdown, you guys.
Right.
Mid-March was when our city shut down for 3.5 months, right? Yeah. So I really was able to take advantage of that in-person school, which I highly recommend you guys. If you have an opportunity to do in-person or virtual, maybe do 50-50, but the time you can go to the in-person school, I really recommend it. Because when you're in person, again, you could ask questions. You're going to build a relationship not with the teachers but with your colleagues that are future superstars, right? Super agents. And you get to build that rapport. So that's really important. Even in that class, there were other brokers that would come in and recruit you and talk to them about the different brokerages or the different opportunities that's out there. So really, really recommend if you guys are watching and have an option to do an in-person class. That's what I did. I got my biggest takeaway. And then right before shutdown is when I took the test. But my license was delayed because of the shutdown. I passed the test in end of February, but I didn't get my license till end of May.
Okay.
However, I started marketing during that time too. So again, you know, social media, you know, again, you guys have to leverage what's out there for free. And, you know, TikTok, social media, YouTube Shorts, YouTube. I mean, you have to be out there to put yourself out there and market yourself. And that's what it's all about. We'll get into more of the video content because us three are like the top agents doing video in Las Vegas. But, you know, for me, I think, you know, jumping into a different industry, it's definitely challenging. But again, is there a good time? It's always a good time. Like you just, you know, if you have that motivation and the passion, and for me it was a career change. But if your heart is there, you want to dive right into it. Right. And then for me, having a mentor is definitely a big, you know, number one must have. Because again, as a new agent, you have a lot of questions. You don't know what you're doing. A lot of the paperwork that we have to go through, contracts. You need someone to ask questions to. And I feel really blessed because I have the top, you know, broker at that time. You know, I started working for a luxury boutique brokerage, Char Luxury. So my broker, Randy Char.
We love you, Randy.
We love you, Randy.
We love you.
Longtime friend of my husband. So they've been friends for over 20 years.
Oh.
Randy for me was like the Mr. Real Estate, right? Luxury real estate. And so I would go to all his events, go to all his brokers open and be like, wow, like look at these beautiful multi-million-dollar listings in Vegas. Yeah. So I was really blessed and grateful to have an opportunity to be mentored by the best. True. And then now we transitioned into Las Vegas Sotheby's. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's just been a really great learning experience. But again, the biggest takeaway for me as far as like a new agent is like whatever you invest in, the time and the money and the energy on videos and editing and all of that, that's all going to come back. So just be consistent. For sure. You know, at the beginning, it's going to take time. Yeah.
Definitely.
How about you?
Oh, it is always a good time to be in real estate. Like for me, to me, it's like, well, right now, to me, more so getting in now is incredibly smart because the market is really hard right now. So you're learning when it's hard instead of jumping in when it's easy.
And you won't have unrealistic expectations.
Exactly.
Either.
So then because real estate moves like this, it's going to always shift.
Yeah.
So you're going to have highs, it's going to move.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're getting into it when it's hard, when it does become easy again, very soon, you're gonna be like, this is great.
Yeah.
This is going great. So
Very
it's
true.
harder, I think, for people who get into it when it's really easy. Because then it's
last year.
last year.
Yeah.
So now it's like it's shifted and it's good. I think it's a good time to really get in and learn, and you get more of people like our and brokers' time to help you, mentors' time to help you, because they have more time on their hands, unfortunately, to be able to really sit down with you and give you the time that you need. And that's like the biggest thing is getting on a team or having a mentor that can really like sit down with you and help you along the way, because if you don't have that and you're flopping around like a fish, it's really hard. That makes it harder. So make it easier for yourself. Make good relationships with other agents. It's not like TV where it's like everybody's fighting with each other and like
Absolutely.
us against them.
It's not that much drama.
It's not that much drama.
Yeah.
You make amazing relationships, and I think that clients like to see that as well, because they know if you treat other people well, you're going to treat them well.
Yeah.
And to me, that's really, really important. So yeah, it's a great time. It's a great time to get in.
Great time.
Yeah. So another question I had is, what were your biggest challenges starting out? I'll let you start.
Well, so when you're in real estate school, they're not teaching you how to run a real estate business. Anyone who's in real estate will know that. So I think just it's so much to learn. I mean, from the contracts to knowing how to market yourself, to the laws, to learning ethics, to time management. I mean, the list just goes on. And I mean, I mean, all around, it's made me like a better person, a better business person, all of that. But just not realizing how much went into it in the beginning was one of my biggest challenges. And of course, having smaller kids makes it, that much harder. But you do what you have to do if it's something that you really love and want to pursue. But luckily at that time, I was with a brokerage that was like really hands-on and did a lot of mentoring with me, which I would recommend for any new realtors, like Kristen and Kaori mentioned. Like, you definitely either want to join a team or you need some type of mentorship, because there's no way you're gonna really be able to be successful without having someone hold your hand throughout the process.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, again, it's just, there's so much information to learn, and you learn by experience.
Yeah.
So I'm still newer, and I am learning per transaction.
Sure.
And
you never stop. You never stop, because every transaction is different.
Right.
Seriously.
Right. And then just, being able to be flexible and work with different personalities, work with different agents. And again, that's why, especially now that the market has shifted, it's even more important for us as agents to partner with other agents and have that mindful, have that abundance mindset. Because at the end of the day, there's always two sides to the transaction. We're not competing for the same buyers or the same clients. And a lot of other agents that don't see it, right? Yeah. They don't get it, and look where they're at. Right? Yeah. So
Absolutely.
the people that understand and have that abundance mindset are going to continue to excel. And look at us, like we're from 3 different brokerages, right?
True.
We all started at different times, but we're friends, and we're going to support and empower and lift each other up.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
And there's so many agents like that in Las Vegas.
That's another.
I don't know if it's like that everywhere else.
So that's one thing that I loved about you from the start. Like Kaori, well, actually, all of us met through social media.
Yes.
Actually,
absolutely.
But Kaori and I met in person first, and then.
Yeah.
No, I knew you longer on social media. We were friends on social media for a while, but then Kaori and I met.
And then I met her at your open house,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah. There we go.
But I don't want to like knock any brokerages or anything, but it's with a lot of brokerages, it's kind of like it's more in-house. Let's just say that. So when I was with, my former brokerage, everything was in-house. Like the brokers open, you would invite all the realtors within the office and that type of thing. But you can think outside of that. You don't just have to collab with realtors that are in your office or connecting with other people. Like, sure, there's going to be great agents that that are in your offices, but don't be scared to reach out to other people as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was really cool, and it reminds me, and I think it's important to give him a shout out because he's doing so much for mentorship and teaching new agents. Jeremy Lewis, he said something really cool at one of his events, and he said, I'm not a fit for everybody. And that's okay. And that's okay. I don't have to be a fit for everybody. Right. Somebody could be watching this right now, and you're a fit for them, and you're a fit for them. And I think that's beautiful. Yeah. And if you keep that mindset going, the world's gonna feed you. And I think that's really cool. And that's what I love about Las Vegas real estate is so many agents have that mindset. Yeah, they really do. Like the majority of agents, and
more of them are starting to catch on as they see different realtors from different. Brokerages and all of that. Still,
it's really cool
collabing with each other.
Yeah. I feel like you were a big part of that.
Yeah,
thank you.
Definitely.
I'm a big people person, as you can tell. And networking, in any business, right? And because I've had my business, the importance of relationship, it just goes a long way. And when you're loyal with your partners, just goes that extra mile, right? So like for me, I can't wait to do deals with you guys. Like
I
know. People.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen very soon. But again, there's two sides of the deal of the transaction, and there's an opportunity for all of us to win.
Sure, absolutely. There always is, for sure. Yeah. So what would you tell yourself now what would you tell yourself then, if you could? Like, sitting here now and you could go back, what would you tell yourself?
Well, back then, every time something would fall through the cracks, I would cry about it. Literally.
I cried.
Which I don't do that now. I don't get so attached to the outcome now. No. Now, of course, it means everything to me to get my clients to the finish line and of course, have the other agents on the other side happy with me and all that. But you can't be so attached to the outcome because quite honestly, you don't have control. Right. You only have control over what you can control. And when you're in real estate, you kind of realize that you don't have control over that much.
Absolutely.
So if I could, I've stressed myself out more than probably is necessary, just trying to do everything, trying to learn everything, just pace yourself, take your time, learn one thing at a time, like commit to learning one thing at a time, maybe take like a month and learn,
a process.
But just pace yourself and don't be so attached to the outcome and
that'll save you.
Yeah.
That'll really save you.
Yeah. So again, thanks to all the podcasts out there. I've been learning so much from these real estate podcasts. I do have to do a couple of shout outs. So number one, Karen Cooper. I don't know if you listen to her, but she's on Empowering Women in Real Estate.
Love that.
She was the first podcast I started listening to, and I joined her Facebook group. She's got like over 25,000 realtors all over the U.S. on it, and they're all female. Oh, wow. And most of them, like us, are moms.
Oh, wow.
So just little tips and hacks and things about just time management, right? For us, time blocking, letting our client, like managing clients' expectation. We're not always accessible. We're not a 24/7 place, right? You have to manage clients' expectations and put boundaries. After 8, nothing's gonna happen. It could wait till the next day, right? Or you're in an appointment. Right?
I'm guilty of being on the phone at 10, 11, 12. Yeah.
I have certainly done that. So that's absolutely right.
But boundaries, right? If you're comfortable, there might be some, VIP clients, what have you. There's some different scenarios. But again, putting boundaries as busy moms, priority is our kids and our husband. So we just need to put them first. And then your me time. We need to have our me time. Whether it's working out, or having coffee with your girls. Like, you just have to have your time too.
Yeah.
But that podcast was absolutely amazing. I highly recommend it.
I love that.
And then right now I listen to Dustin Brome, Massive Agent, religiously every week. I actually had an opportunity to meet with Justin about a month ago. He was here for a conference. But again, he fires me up.
Yeah.
He really motivates realtors. He just shares with us all of his experience with his team in Salt Lake, and just so many tips from him. Right. So, for example, if you're a realtor and you're not doing video, like, why? Like, you have to be doing video content. Like, you're already behind the game if you're not. Yeah. So for me, I've had that passion of doing my YouTube channel, and it started.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
you've committed to it.
Committed
from
to
day
it.
one. I love
Wait,
it.
can you tell them the channel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So Kaori Luxury Real Estate is going to be my 2-year anniversary this December 15th.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
Yeah, again, long-term video, and again, YouTube is searchable, and that's why, again, you need to be on YouTube, right? You need to have the long-term video. And again, like you mentioned earlier, we're just attracting clients. We're not selling. People are watching us, like right now too.
For sure. Yeah.
If you like Katarina, if you like Kristen, if you like me, you are going to reach out to us.
Right.
So that's the attraction that the video content's able to create.
Right.
And so, I mean, you just have to be on it, right?
Yeah.
And then now shorter video contents, right? TikTok's obviously taking over. So again, you have to be on all those platforms, and maybe dedicate to one or two that you're going to focus on, right?
Yeah, I would say dedicate to one or two.
Yeah.
And then really master those and really stick to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's definitely right.
Yeah.
There's some really good, and I'm like an economics nerd. So like when you're talking about podcasting, like definitely like, find people who like are talking about the market that you really respect. So like I listen to Peter Schiff all the time. I listen to Greg Manarino. There's a lot of people that I listen to, and they really help. But as far as like giving yourself an edge while you're in real estate, even before you're in real estate school, I want you to think of, like they were saying, think of where you're going to get your leads from. Where's your lead source really? Where's your number one lead source going to come from? And start really studying that as much as you're studying that school book. Yeah. Because that's going to really help you once you get in.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking about, I got to get this test
done.
Yeah,
that's all you're focusing on. Right.
And everything's going to be great, and everybody's going to call me.
No. Once you're licensed, okay, now what? So seriously start thinking about where your leads are going to come from. Is it going to come from, like she said, YouTube, on social media somewhere? Do you have a sphere of influence that you can work? Are you going to be an open house person? Because a lot of people get a lot of success from doing open houses. I did. I wish I did. I was horrible. I never got a deal from an open house. But then she completely killed it.
Yeah.
So like, you really want to think about like where your strong points are, and before you even get into it, attack it. Start working it.
Yeah.
And you can start early.
Right.
I'm getting into real estate.
Yeah.
But I want you to use me.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Absolutely. So to piggyback on that, Kristen, can you talk about each of you, like your niche market? Like, who's your target audience? Like, who are you attracting the most, and what's your expertise?
I've noticed that the people that I've been really attracting are like no nonsense. They don't want more smoke blown up their and they're like, just tell me the facts. Burr, burr, burr. Like, that's how it's been. It's a lot of my clients, and I love it. Because that's me. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to be honest with you. And, and that's not what everybody wants. Some people, they need a different type of care.
Sure.
And that's like, I'm very, blunt. And then, I work with a lot of the professional athletes as well. Nice. I love them. They're my boys. And that's kind of where, awesome. That's my peoples.
Your peoples. Yeah. How about you?
I think it has a lot, it obviously has mostly to do with how you put yourself out there. So obviously you share so much like no nonsense informative information, so those are the type of people that you attract. And those very analytical people who are they want the facts, they want the numbers. With me, I would say, I definitely focus on a lot of open houses when I started, and then now with the pandemic, since the pandemic, I haven't done many of them, but I definitely focus on social media, Instagram specifically. But I noticed that I'm sure it has a lot to do with the type of like luxury homes that I promote and like Las Vegas lifestyle type stuff. So I get a lot of people who are wanting those secondary, like vacation homes, which is awesome. And then also people who actually, when I looked into my business this year, I worked with a lot of single women.
Oh, wow.
Which is cool.
That's amazing.
So thank you. Thank you to
go.
all the ladies that have been reaching out to me. I actually love it. But yeah, I've been working out with a lot of independent women that are purchasing homes themselves, which is really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. So knowing your niche is important, right? So for me as well, like, you know, I really focus on relocation, especially from California, because I did that 17 years ago. So I could really explain my experience and what I did. I also work with a lot of investors. And being a real estate investor myself, I could really speak their language, really talk about 1031 exchange, all the tax implications. Beautiful. But again, you know, the more narrow you are with your audience, once you know who you're talking to, and maybe like for you, like put a name to that single lady, right? Client that you could talk to. And I even need to work, like, and we're always constantly evolving and trying to perfect our craft. So I need to hone in even more to my market. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. So once you've identified that, that's the hardest, right? Like who do you need to speak to? Who's that?
Exactly.
Who's listening?
Because I'm telling you, I mean, I'll put information up on TikTok, just about, you know, rates or whatever, and like I will get blasted, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this hurts, you know. But it's like, I know that's not my audience.
Right.
They're watching me. I need to shift. You know, I need to shift. So yeah. Constantly learning, but those analytics are fantastic. You want to look into that and see who's watching. Who you're attracting. Definitely.
No, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, it's really good. So yeah, and then what are your, like, if you had like one tip that you could give out to like everybody like starting out, what would that be? Like one strong tip. That really has helped you.
One tip. Okay, I'll let you go.
I'll go first?
Yeah.
Video marketing. I preach on that. But you just have to be on video, and you just have to get yourself out there. And someone said, I think it was in one of Dustin's podcasts, it's like, if you can't sell yourself, how are sellers going to hire you to list their property? How are you going to sell and market the listing? How are you going to make your listing differentiated from others and stand out? Right? We've got over 8,000 active inventory right now. How is your listing going to stand out of all of them and have the most eyeballs and buyers coming through? Right. So for me, video marketing.
Okay, so I would say consistency.
Ooh, she took mine.
No, but so I mean, obviously, like a majority of how I generate business is through video as well. Whether it's and I forgot to mention as well that I not only do I work with a lot of women in like vacation homes, but also I get a lot of realtor leads, referral leads, which is awesome, and I appreciate all of the realtors out there who have trusted me enough to send their clients my way. But yeah, you have to be consistent, whether it is video marketing, whether you're cold calling, whether you're door knocking, whether you're, focusing on your SOI, however it is that you generate your leads, you just have to stay consistent with it, period.
And I'm going to give you, that's like, your past experience in concierge service.
That's awesome.
Treat your clients with pure boutique concierge service, every single one of them, and make them your family. Like, I love see them as blood. Treat them like blood.
And it's so rewarding when once you close a deal and your clients are like inviting you and the family over to their pool parties and like to their house for the holidays and stuff like that. Like, it's so rewarding when your friends truly become, when your clients become your friends. Like, it's awesome.
It's really cool. Like, I was having an issue this week and I called one of my clients. I'm like, bro, like, seriously, I got you. And my clients, they're like, if somebody has a problem with you, you call me. You know, like that's the relationship you want to have, because they know that I have them. Like, forever. Forever and ever. So
And not every client is going to be that way. Some people just, and that's okay. Everyone's personality is different. Some clients, when it's over with, you may not stay in touch with them as much. Obviously, do your part to, reach out, see if they need anything. But, maybe they just kind of want to go off and do their own thing and don't really want to talk too much, and that's fine. But for the ones that do, like, It's so rewarding.
It really is.
Definitely.
Yeah, you really make like
And
best
obviously
friends
show
out
up to every event that they invite you to. That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because from there, they're going to refer you to other family
course.
members and friends and maybe introduce you at this event to other people that are interesting prospects, right?
Yeah.
So definitely show up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, and I know you have so much experience in that, so that's like
Yeah.
so like
That's
transitioning
Yeah.
from doing that
Yes.
into
Yeah.
like real estate is pure genius.
That's a great background
thank you.
foundation to have coming into the business.
Yeah, and then obviously I've been selling Vegas for like 17 years.
Yeah.
So it's like now it's not just the experience, which I can still help my clients with, but now I'm selling the properties and the tangible product. But now we're changing lives, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for us as realtors. We're changing lives.
Yeah.
And that's just so rewarding when again they trust you
Yeah.
to do the business, the transaction, relocation, what have you, second home, right? And they become family, right?
Absolutely.
We're part of their biggest decision of their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so rewarding.
it's
It's
so
really
rewarding.
rewarding. So if you are getting into it, that's all the upside on it. Like you're changing people's lives. Really, you're providing a social service that's really special. So yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah.
And before we go, I want to give a shout out. I'm going to let you give a shout out because this beautiful home that we're in.
Oh, yes, of
Oh,
course.
yeah, I'm gonna because this is her one of her agents from her brokerage.
Yes.
So I'm gonna let her do the
Oh,
work.
awesome. So just a shout out to my colleague Jim Wickland from Las Vegas Sotheby's for having us here today.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. We did our own video tour of this beautiful home. We're actually located on the west side of the Las Vegas Strip off of Spring Mountain, about Rainbow, right by Section 10 area. And if you're not familiar with Section 10, you should definitely look into this neighborhood. You're going to get a lot more acreage and land and space.
RV parking.
Yeah. So a lot of homes are no HOA, and a lot of people like the non-HOA, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to Jim. Thank you, and let's get this beautiful home sold, you guys.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. Love you guys.
Thank you for
Thank
watching.
you.